Colorado Springs, 1899. Nikola Tesla had just set up his magnifying transmitter, a device that could tune into the resonant circuit of the Earth to detect incoming storms. While tracking thunderstorms 600 miles away, all of a sudden he heard three beeps, and these three beeps were in a sequence with mathematical precision. Tesla had no idea what to make of these transmissions, but the more he thought about it, the more he became convinced that he had picked up signals of extraterrestrial origin. Actually, he became so convinced of it that in 1901 he published an article in Collier's Weekly titled Talking with the Planets, in which he recounted, "The changes I noted were taking place periodically and were such a clear suggestion of number and order that they were not traceable to any cause then known to me. The feeling is constantly growing on me that I have been the first to hear the greeting of one planet to another." Was Tesla on to something? Was this statement based on mere speculation? The theory that aliens communicate with Earth via radio waves was propagated by Georgian Halls. In 1927, he sent transmissions from his home in Oslo, which would unexpectedly return to him moments later. Much like Tesla, he held a belief that extraterrestrials were the culprit. Fast forward to 1977, where Ohio State University's radio telescope picked up a more coherent picture of what Halls had 50 years prior. Somewhere in the archives of Columbus, Ohio, there's a slip of paper with some random numbers and letters printed on it. Some of these numbers are encircled with "Wow" written in the margin. These encircled characters are the sign of an unusually strong radio signal from deep outer space, but we don't know exactly where it came from, nor have we ever received it again. So, what's up with these random radio transmissions that we detect from outer space? Could it be the sign of an extraterrestrial intelligence trying to establish contact? Or just stray radiation that we just happen to detect? This famous image has been common sight on the internet and was allegedly the reason for these unexplained phenomena. It has become so popular on conspiracy theory sites and has been dubbed the Black Knight satellite. Supposedly, it is an extraterrestrial spacecraft that has orbited Earth for thousands of years and has been linked to global conspiracies, ranging from the Illuminati to the Aztecs. But before we dive headfirst into these theories, which are little more than apocalyptic tales, it would be worthwhile to first look at the facts. The Black Knight satellite image was taken on a NASA STS-88 mission in 1998. This was the first space shuttle mission attempt to get to the newly created International Space Station. The picture itself was captured on December 11th above the Atlantic Ocean in the vicinity of the southwestern coast of Africa. And contrary to belief, this isn't the only image of the satellite to be taken. 5 other photos of the objects were taken as it moved more distinctly from the shuttle. It can be seen over the course of these photos to be tumbling and rolling through space. The object appeared to be completely flat and almost sheet-like. From the prominent way it reflects off light, it could be metallic. However, the creases and folds on the surface could indicate that it is just a jettisoned thermal blanket, and by all means, that would be a satisfactory explanation for all the details. Due to its large cross-section, it would just appear to be a large, solid object. But this is nothing more than an optical illusion, which, if you're up in space, is quite common. All these images can be seen on the NASA Gateway to Astronaut Photography of Earth, which catalogs every photo taken above Earth's atmosphere, given their exact time, location, condition, and a brief description of what to be found in the image. The description for the series of Black Knight images definitely catalogs it as nothing more than space debris. Now, all the conspiracy theories are going to say that the government is just trying to cover up the existence of aliens. So let's not take NASA's word for it just yet and analyze the STS-88 mission in a bit more detail. Now, it is common for astronauts to lose things in the vacuum of space, whether intentionally or accidentally. These include man-made objects that have been taken aboard the mission. On the STS-88 mission, several such objects were lost, including an insulation blanket, the one I mentioned earlier. Such a blanket is used to cover the metal exterior of the space station so that it can reflect most of the thermal energy back into the spacecraft. Since new probes, antennas, and solar panels are frequently installed, they require their own insulation blankets, which have to be fastened manually. During one of these trips, one of these folded-up insulation blankets became untethered and drifted off into space, and needless to say, this was the exact date and time that the Black Knight was spotted. And the blanket can even be seen drifting off into the vast expanse of space from the inside of the space station. It can be seen rolling off into the distance and gleaming in the sunlight and resembling the Black Knight, well, pretty much exactly. Now, I, for one, would say that the case of the Black Knight satellite has been thoroughly debunked, and this is the opinion of many skeptics and NASA itself. The story that this was the work of some advanced civilization some 13,000 years ago is just an escape for people looking to get high off of a good mystery without actually doing any research. So, what about the radio pulses picked up by Tesla in the Ohio Radio Telescope? Chalking the conveniently timed pulses down to alien activity is very far-fetched, especially since more plausible answers were developed to explain the phenomenon. A pulsar is a rotating star that emits radio rays and pulses, and seems like a likely explanation, or it could just have been a transmission from the Earth that was wrongly attributed to space. If it was an object that had been orbiting the Earth for the past 13,000 years, surely it would have needed fuel and something remotely resembling a propulsion system to stay up there for all this time. Since this eliminates the possibility of an ancient alien satellite, the only possible argument that conspiracy theories can conjure up is that the satellite is an alien that can somehow glide through the vacuum of space, which is again ridiculous. But what if an alien that has been orbiting Earth undetected for the past several thousand years? Well, let's see why this is an impossibility. Very few organisms can exist in the void of space, and definitely not for extended periods of time, especially something larger than a tardigrade. The body plane would just be unfit for travel in a vacuum and zero gravity conditions. These conditions are not a suitable habitat for any organism. There are no molecules, nutrients, or compounds that can be used to aid in respiration or energy production. The lack of a closed-loop system for the recycling of matter leads to energy in the system dissipating almost instantly. You would lose all body heat in a matter of minutes and be exposed to unfiltrated radiation. An alien being that is sophisticated enough to work its way around all that is just impossible. I wanted to believe that the Black Knight was something more than just space debris, and I admit the photo did look pretty cool, but at the end of the day, instead of spreading misinformation about the photo, let's just take it for the anticlimactic truth that it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this.